I think that 90 Day Fiancé star Andre Castrovet has always been a difficult man. And while he seems to love his wife Libby Pothas, the fact that Andre now has American citizenship could mean that he plans to stop playing the family man. Through the years, Andres let Libby down over and over again. The man who controls his wife Libby like nobody's business even described her family as a cult in an exclusive chat with US Magazine. While they've stuck it out, the fact that his immigration status changed could signal a change in Libby and Andres' dynamic. They met in Ireland while they were using a language app. Andre, an in-your-face type who famously clashes with Libby's family when he's not asking them for money or employment, probably seemed charming at first. He was fit, attractive, and devoted to his new love interest. However, the man from Moldova has a dark side, and if he's secretly been playing his American wife, this stage of their lives together could be pivotal. Their relationship has been a wild ride so far. It's interesting that Andre used the cult analogy, as he seems to have a cult-like hold on his wife. He's not a Charles Manson or David Koresh, but in his own way, he's done great damage to her life. He's dragged Libby down a path that has led her away from her own family. In Scientology, a lot of followers are encouraged to cut ties with the people who love them the most because they are suppressive people. This tactic is shady, to say the least, and it's part of the reason why this church gets such a bad rap. Anyone who questions Scientology, which has quite a far-fetched, UFO-inspired premise, is considered an enemy. Even if they're a loving mother or father who is worried about their cult-brainwashed child, Andre probably doesn't consider himself a brainwasher. As I said previously, he appears to sincerely love Libby, but on the other hand, would someone who really cared raise the landscape like this? Would they make things so difficult for their wife that she has to avoid most members of her family? I don't think so. It seems to me that Andre is trying to get Libby all to himself. He's taken what he can from her family, and now he doesn't want to deal with them anymore, and he doesn't want her to either. To me, this is a major red flag. Pothas aren't angels. Chuck's business tactics have been questioned. No one's trying to say that they haven't fought dirty too, but before Andre came along, the controversial clan wasn't in tatters. Now it is, and that's probably made many members of the family feel very sad. It's like Andres forcing Libby to choose between him and her family, even if she thinks it's her own decision. I'm not saying she doesn't have agency over her own life, but Andre can be so heavy-handed, pushing hard for whatever he wants. It might be hard for her to keep her sense of self when he's so determined to get his way. He might make her believe she's pulling away from them because they've wronged her, when the truth is that they love her more than anyone else does. 90 Day Fiancé's Chuck Pothas isn't a perfect person, but it's clear he adores Libby. He practically melts when he looks at her, and always caves into her demands, whether she wants a ritzy Moldovan wedding or anything else. He can't stand it when she's sad.and basically ruined her relationship with her family. She sticks around, almost as though brainwashed by his verbal aggression and vaulting ambition. Obviously, she loves this man, but is he good for her? And will he stay? Maybe this will all end in tears. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. Andre and Libby have put down roots. They're a family. However, women in international relationships can be way too trusting. It's all too easy to get burned. If Andre decides to move on, Libby will probably be crushed, and she'll need to spend a lot of time trying to repair her relationships with her relatives. She will need them if she's raising her kids without Andre, even if they share custody. Hopefully, Andre is on the level Libby is naive in some ways. The woman who wants to make a living singing nursery rhymes may idealize her mate, glossing over things that should never be ignored. Her romantic spirit is sweet, but Andre has a ruthless quality. He's told wild Tinker Tailor Soldier spy-style tales about fleeing Moldova in the dead of night to avoid rogue cops. Sure, this could be true, but it wouldn't be surprising if he was embellishing. There's a touch of crass disloyalty in 90 Day Fiancé's Andre Castrovet, and personally, loyalty is something that I value. Those who are loyal usually understand the give and take in human interactions. I am extremely loyal. Those who are there for me are rewarded and never forgotten. I hope that Andre never treats Libby the way that he's treated her family. That twisted dynamic fueled a lot of interesting on-screen antics, but in real life, it's not so funny. In the world of reality television, few shows have captivated audiences like 90 Day Fiancé. The drama, the cultural clashes, the intense family dynamics each season seems to deliver the perfect concoction of tension and entertainment. Among the many couples featured, Andre Castrovet and Libby Pothas have become one of the most talked about pairings, thanks to Andrei's strong-willed personality and his contentious relationship with Libby's family. But with Andrei's newly acquired American citizenship, a compelling question arises. Will Andre stay with Libby, or is he now free to leave her, especially after his scathing remarks about her family, which he once described as a cult? Andre and Libby's journey on 90 Day Fiancé has been nothing short of tumultuous. Their relationship began with Andre, a Moldovan native, moving to the United States to marry Libby. The couple's dynamic has often been a flashpoint, with Andrei's often abrasive demeanor, his difficult relationship with Libby's family, and his desire for independence clashing against the expectations of a family-driven reality TV narrative. Andrei's often rough-edged behavior, particularly toward Libby's family, has painted him as an outsider, someone who refuses to conform to American norms and who distrusts Libby's relatives. However, Libby's family also hasn't been kind to him, especially her father, who has tried to influence Libby's life choices, including her relationship with Andre. But Andrei's comments about Libby's family, notably describing them as a cult, might be the defining moment in their saga. In many ways, this statement encapsulates everything that is strained between them. It shows Andrei's disdain for the influence Libby's family has over her, and by extension, their relationship. Andrei's words weren't just a passing comment, they were a statement of his frustrations, his feeling of being trapped, and perhaps even his desire to separate himself from the toxic dynamic he perceives within her family. For those who follow the show, it's clear that Andrei's relationship with Libby's family is volatile. Libby's father, Chuck Pothas, who has been supportive of her career aspirations and financial endeavors, has been a central figure in their disputes. Chuck's repeated involvement in their business ventures, especially after Andrei's refusal to work in a traditional job, has created a sense of entitlement, tension, and dependence. Andre resents being seen as someone who needs financial assistance and guidance from Libby's family, which only intensifies the perception that they are controlling and overbearing. This tension only deepens when Andre is portrayed as a man who is fiercely independent, even to the point of being stubborn and unyielding. It's easy to see how, from his perspective, the Pothas family dynamic feels more like an imposition than a loving support system. To him, the family's actions, especially their constant involvement in his and Libby's life, could easily be interpreted as manipulative. His cult comment suggests that he feels trapped in a situation where Libby's family is constantly influencing their relationship, much to his frustration. But now, with Andre having successfully acquired American citizenship, a new set of questions arises. Will this newfound freedom allow him to reconsider his commitment to Libby and their relationship? After all, in the past, his journey to America was motivated not just by love for Libby, but by the opportunity for a new life in a more stable and prosperous country. Andre's citizenship means that he can now stay in the U.S. without the constant worry of visa issues or the potential need to return to Moldova. This newfound freedom might change his perspective on his relationship with Libby and, more importantly, on his place within her family. If Andre were to leave Libby, the reasons could be manifold. First, there's the ongoing tension with Libby's family. His disdain for them has been clear, and there's only so much someone can take before they begin to question if the relationship is worth the emotional cost. Andre has already made it clear that he doesn't want to be dependent on anyone, especially not Libby's family. If he's no longer tethered by the need to maintain a connection to her family for his visa, there may be nothing holding him back from walking away. Furthermore, Andre's personality suggests that he values independence above all else. He's not someone who easily compromises, and his reluctance to take part in certain aspects of Libby's life, especially business decisions, speaks to a deeper desire for autonomy. It's possible that, now that he has his citizenship, Andre might feel that he no longer needs to make any more concessions. He may feel that his life in the U.S. is stable enough for him to pursue his own path, free from the influence of Libby's family or any outside pressures. However, it's also important to consider the emotional connection between Andre and Libby. Despite the drama, there have been moments where their affection for each other shines through. Libby, for all her family drama, does seem to love Andre, and she often defends him against her relatives. It's clear that Libby cares for Andre, and in many ways, she seems to want him to succeed in his new life in America. It would be easy to assume that Andre, with his independent streak, would eventually walk away from the relationship. However, it's also possible that his feelings for Libby could hold him back. Love, despite all the dysfunction, has a way of keeping couples together even in the most difficult of circumstances. Additionally, Andre's desire to build a life in America might still be intertwined with his relationship with Libby. Though he may have critiqued her family, Andre is still living in the U.S. with Libby, and his citizenship ties him to her more deeply than just a visa. If Andre truly wanted to leave, he could have pursued other opportunities, whether professionally or personally. The fact that he remains in the relationship suggests that, at least for now, there's still something he values about being with Libby, despite the challenges posed by her family.